What's up everyone, Carlos Chesner. Welcome back to another video, and wow, has there been some big breaking news that happened last night. The WWE has reportedly agreed a deal with the Saudi public investment fund over the sale of the WWE, and yeah, this all kind of follows on from last night, where Stephanie McMahon steps down from her co-CEO role in the WWE. I'll start with Steph. She released a statement saying, "Dear WWE Universe, about 8 months ago I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I can consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I've known in my co-CEO Nick Khan. Our founder Vince McMahon has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. With Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as Chief Content Officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering WWE on from the side of the business where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans, and I'm grateful to all our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever together, Steph." Two things I find interesting there are, one, saying that Vince is back as executive chair, and two, the maximum value for the shareholders. I'll get into why that is interesting a little bit later. Then, there's been reports that talent are dismayed following Stephanie's resignation. So that's adding on top of that, so talent were already a bit dismayed about that, and then the report comes out that we have agreed to sale with the Saudis. We want this rematch back. There's a reason I put MVP and Sami Zayn, because they've kind of well known that because the religion and stuff, they don't go to the Saudi show. So if Saudi takes over, I can see these two being two of the main ones that want out, because multiple I have a thing here that says that it's been reported by Fightful. Multiple wrestlers have said they'd leave WWE if the company ends up being Saudi Arabia led, which again, I'm pointing at here. Again, I just have some screenshots of stuff that I've noticed that I look back on. There's one that says the deal isn't completely finalized because WWE must provide notice to shareholders and other parties. There are legalities to go through as the company is publicly traded. But again, I'm told the deal has been agreed in principle. That is from Cassidy Haynes at Body Slam. So the deal is all but signed. It's in place. All they need to do is tell the shareholders, say, look, this is happening. But yeah, they must provide notice to the shareholders, and then it's official. And not only that, there are plans. It's been reported that the company will go back to being a private-led company. So publicly traded no more. If the Saudis do take over, will go private, which will mean the Saudis can do whatever they want, really. It means they don't have to listen to shareholders, they don't have to listen to like stockholders. They can literally do whatever they want with the company. And like I don't know what to think. I think this is really interesting. It's also been kind of reported by the Zone that under Saudi Public Investment Control Fund, Vince McMahon is likely to once again return to his role as head of creative. I've seen reports say that it hasn't really. It's like expected that will happen. That it's not official that will happen, but it's kind of what's expected to happen. And it's also Fightful reporting wrestlers have went and asked for release over this, and someone from Wrestling Inc. Refuted the claim, saying only a few wrestlers would actually want out, stating talent were outraged after the Montreal Screwjob. How many actually quit? Which I get, but I feel like comparing this to talent wanting to leave and after the Screwjob to this is kind of like two completely different situations. It is very, very interesting to see what happens with the WWE, and also like something about the whole Steph thing as well. Like literally a week ago, when reports that Vince were coming back, she was like apparently at a talent meeting saying the day-to-day wanted to change, and that like she said that it shouldn't be a scary time. It's an exciting time that our founder is back on the board. And then she like resigns after apparently saying stuff like that. But again, like I don't know what to think. I feel like the closeness of the situations are too close together for them not to be a bit of a coincidence in Steph stepping down and the Saudis reportedly agreeing terms by the company. How long has Vince been planned this? I feel like sales don't happen this quickly. They don't move along. They don't process this quickly. There would have been negotiations, and I feel like these negotiations would have been going on the 6 months or so, however long Vince has been out of power. I feel like behind the scenes, Vince has been negotiating this deal, and I'm not really surprised that it is the Saudis that are the ones who are reportedly doing it. Like, especially if you think of WWE's relationship with Saudi Arabia and them doing shows there. It's not really a surprise that it is the Saudis, but I'm more interested to see what this means for WWE, because it doesn't, from my opinion, it doesn't really look too good at the moment, just from everything that's coming out. You have talent not wanting to be there. What does this mean for future TV deals? What does this mean for creative? I'll go into a bit more detail there. WWE at the moment in time, for the first time in years, I've watched Raw and SmackDown back-to-back weeks. I'm actually enjoying the WWE product. They announced Money in the Bank is coming to the UK. I live in Ireland. I was like, I'm going to try my best to get tickets, going to book flights, go over for it. Now I'm not too sure. Because the one thing we know about the Saudis is, well, just what makes me think they might bring Vince back into creative is, look, what they've done with Newcastle United when they bought them is they employed people who know football. They don't really run the day-to-day. They employ people to run it, and I can see them doing similar to WWE, but owning a football team and owning something like the WWE is completely different. You know, owning the WWE is like them owning the Premier League. uh, you know, so it's not like a natural comparison, but you know, I feel like they won't be running day to day, but they'll have kind of input and stuff, and that is why I can kind of see them wanting Vince kind of as like their guy in there, you know, because if you look, was it the first Saudi show, was it the Great Royal Rumble or something, they wanted Yokozuna, so I can see them wanting the name and the guy who's been running the WWE for years to be the guy in charge rather than like a Triple H. Even though Triple H, you know, he's a wrestler, he has a name in the industry, but he's not Vince McMahon, he hasn't been running the WWE for the past 30 years. No, if they were smart, they would keep Triple H in charge and just let him keep doing his thing and just be the silent investors, just be the people there, okay, you, like, supplying the money and not getting involved in anything, but whether or not that remains the case, you know, remains to be seen. I can definitely see if this happens WrestleMania in like a couple of years being held in Saudi Arabia. I know like it won't be this year because they already have plans for this year, and I believe they're already announced next year's venue. Like I think it was a Philly or somewhere. So like it won't be them, but maybe the year after that or something. Like, you know, you could see Mania in Saudi. You also have to look, what does this mean? Of course, there's reports of people wanting out of the company. That's not something to shy away from. You know, MVP and Sami Zayn, of course, there's a reason I put these two in this match. Like, their religion stuff, they haven't done Saudi shows. You know, it's like Sami, I don't see either of these two staying around. You know, and you know, you get rid of Sami Zayn, there goes the bloodline story. You know, it looks like on Raw they were teasing her business getting back together. That goes. You know, you could be losing out on some big things, big stars, big stories. You gotta wonder, what does this mean for like the women's division and how Saudi handle like their women and stuff. And you know, like it's interesting. And you also, last thing, we'll just keep doing a rematch because it's literally just background while I kind of rant and give my opinions on stuff. You gotta wonder, what does this mean for TV deals, you know? Because one of the things going around when Vince McMahon first came back was he wanted to negotiate the new TV rights. Well, if that happens and Saudi do get involved, will anyone want to pick up those rights? I'm not a big golf guy, I don't really follow golf, but haven't Saudi Arabia been trying to like start their like, there's just bits that I've picked up from the wee story, but like Saudi Arabia apparently like started their own like golf league to rival the PGA Tour, and they haven't been able to get TV rights for that in the States, which, you know, I could see maybe eventually the same happening for WWE. Then you get to the point where maybe like Ring of Honor, you like kind of what Tony Khan has to do with Ring of Honor. He couldn't really get a TV deal, so he has to put on Honor Club. Will we have to move Raw and SmackDown to the network? If so, that is millions lost in TV rights that I don't see them making up in subscriptions, because you'd have people who are like, oh, I'm not going to give them my money, I'm not going to subscribe to the network. I don't want to support like the Saudi government. You can see people cancelling their subscriptions to the network. You can maybe see people not wanting to attend WWE shows live. And then, you know, when you get to the stage where I know they have millions and billions, the Saudi like investment fund that could potentially be buying it, but it could get to the point where they're just losing money. Maybe they're like, okay, it's not working, we're going to just stop it completely. You know, maybe it gets to the point where they move the WWE's to Saudi Arabia because they're not doing well in US, and they just have like, they're like show tapings in Saudi and stuff. Like, there's like a lot of lot of like stuff that could potentially happen. Some, you know, a lot of it negatively, like some people online, maybe they're just like trolls and stuff, but a few people saying this could be the death of WWE, and it, in a way, it could. No, I feel like we all thought once Vince will step down, Stephanie and Triple H would take charge like they did for those 6 months, but as I said, were they really in charge, or were they just kind of put in place and then Vince behind the scenes planning this sale the whole time? And it is bad. You know, I was actually starting to enjoy WWE again. Like, yeah, I'm more intrigued than anything, because I don't know what to expect, and I feel like this is one of the biggest things that has ever happened in professional wrestling. The WWE, the company that bought out all the other companies, all the other territories, WCW, ECW, you know, the AWA and all them back in the day. The WWE, Vince McMahon, they ran through them all, they bought them all, and now we're at a point where we could be seeing the end of the WWE. And you know, what happens then to wrestling as a whole? Mainstream wise, you'd only really have AEW, but AEW doesn't have the name, the brand, the history of the WWE. You know, like, you know, you talk to like your parents or something, they would have known the WWE. Like, I could talk to like my ma, and she'd be like, oh, I remember like the Bushwhackers and Macho Man Randy Savage and all of them. Like, people don't have that name brand value for AEW, which, yeah, you know, like, it's hard to imagine the wrestling industry without the WWE. And yeah, it's very, very intriguing to see how this plays out. I guess all we can really do is wait for more news stories to come out, wait for like an official announcement from, and wait for the sale to officially go through. But yeah, intriguing time in the world of professional wrestling. That is all I can really say on it. Let me know in the comment section below what you were thinking of this big breaking news. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.